This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
I was trying to get it out of here. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired. I don't get tired.
And we are still not tired on this week's episode of Two Bad Hombres. I am your host, Vito Geronimo Church, alongside my usual sidekick and broadcast partner and fun. That is the Doc from Doc and Jock, John Charles Macaroon. John, we are not tired, but we are cold, aren't we?
Holy cow, Vito. We survived a brutal week of weather. And, I'm a guy that doesn't complain too much, but when you go outside and it's -5, you have to basically not let any skin be exposed. And for the first time in a long time, I basically covered up to the point where only my eyes were showing. And,
you're not showing off any kind of skin to
didn't
the
show
ladies
off
out there,
nothing.
huh? Wow, look at you.
Brutally cold. The kids had like 4 days off of school, and it does. I know a lot of parents were complaining regarding sometimes, getting alerted at 5 a.m. in regards to when your school is getting closed or if there's going to be an opening or a closing. And I'm like, holy cow, man. Honey, what are you checking? Who's calling? Who's calling you? Better not be some dude. She's like, no, it's the school.
Isn't that principal again calling you up, honey?
So the kids had themselves another winter break, and it was a good
Pretty
time.
much, yeah, another winter break.
That's
2 now. Isn't that something? That's how bad it's been.
I can recall back in the day when I was a youngster, we'd almost beg for the school to be closed, and it wouldn't be. And then you'd have your friends or other school districts, and you'd kind of constantly look, is East Detroit Public Schools closed? Is East Detroit Public School really closed? And it wouldn't be. You'd almost have to have like 5 inches, and you couldn't drive to be able to have the school closed. And I find it funny that now in the age of social media, you have students creating content like videos saying, hey, at Michigan State, it's got to be like deep thaw. You have to have icicles before the school gets canceled. Then all of a sudden, bam, on Wednesday and Thursday, classes are canceled because it's cold.
Ahead of time, schools are canceling colleges, not just grade schools, middle schools, high schools. Universities. The University of Detroit Mercy announced on Tuesday, at 3 o'clock, before Wednesday, that far in advance to let the students know that, hey, no classes for the following day. I mean, that far in advance. Now, we know it's going to be freezing cold, but these are college campuses with adults. These aren't kids. It is something else, man. How incredibly cold it has been throughout this week. I mean, Arctic cold-esque temperatures. Colder in Chicago this week than in some parts of Antarctica and Siberia. That cold throughout the Midwest, Doc.
It's crazy, Vito. It's definitely crazy. And then you and I, obviously, for research for the podcast and things like that, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, and we see all these people that kind of go on vacation, and they're in Florida. Putty, friend of the podcast, he tweeted at him and said, oh, poor guy, you're stuck in the snow earlier this week on Monday with the devastating snow. He's like, oh, so bad. And his blue skies in
Florida. Yeah, to rub it in, huh?
And I was like, man, I never really gave thought to leaving Michigan, but I'm thinking I got to work harder, Vito. We got to sell more spots because I think we need a vacation home. Not that I want to live
for the DSP network, like a guys hang out bachelor pad per se, without everybody being a bachelor.
Maybe not in Florida, but maybe in Atlanta or Arizona.
Hot Atlanta, baby. Somewhere where it's hot, man.
Exactly, and I think that something has to be done where for a week or so a year we get out of this, because a week like this was brutal, and I don't like it because it slows everything down. You just kind of find yourself just watching movies and eating, and then you're just like, man, it's just so cold. And then the kids, they're crazy. They want to get outside and play in it, and then I'm like, oh. And Vito, I'll tell you this. I'll reveal a secret. I don't have a snowblower. So my ass is hauling and swinging the shovel, trying to shovel the snow at like 11 p.m. because I'm so lazy. The wife's like, are you going to do it? And what I do is I wait till the absolute last minute. And in previous years, my neighbors were kind. They would actually do the sidewalk for me, and I just have to do the garage. The last 2 years, I don't know what happened. They've gotten older, or they don't care about me anymore.
Maybe it's that. You've probably rubbed some people, and those guys specifically, the wrong way.
They don't shovel my snow. I'm like, come on, you got the big bad machine.
Up.
Listen, Vito, I think it's very fair that if I was a guy, and I look at it always from the prism of if it was me. If it was me and I had a big bad machine, it only took me 3 minutes to plow snow, and you got this guy, it's hardworking, he's young, got 2 kids and a family.
Young?
Yeah.
What? Young?
Well, the guy, my subdivision's a little bit older.
So you look young compared to everybody else.
Exactly.
Okay.
So they've done it in the past for me, and I just say, man, I obviously the weather, I can't expect it, but I think I'm going to. I'm just like, damn, dude, I kind of want to go over there and be like, look, I'm working like a lot of hours.
I'm working hard, man.
Can you just plow my snow?
Can you plow me? I mean,
Not-
plow that?
Not the driveway. I can do
Okay.
that. The
Good, well,
sidewalk.
at least you can do that.
Yeah, because on both sides, it's like, come on. It looks stupid, too. And really, it is me. If you see where my house is located, it's just me who doesn't do it. It literally
Oh,
is
my
just
God.
me. Everybody's got a snowplow.
So you're the biggest laughing stock on your block, pretty much, when it comes to shoveling snow and not having the proper equipment.
Okay,
right?
you
The
know
snow
what?
blower to blow
You
all
can
of
make it
away.
up to me, Vito. You can, start searching maybe with one of our fine sponsors, maybe go into a pawn shop or go somewhere. And
Motor
for
City
my,
Pawn Brokers, right?
yeah, for my 40th birthday, get me a snowplow.
Oh, sure. I'll be right on that.
Thank you very much.
How much do I have to spend on it? How about like a $5 one, the cheapest one possible?
To be honest with you, I don't even know how much they cost.
Yeah, it'd be a lot more than $5.
How much?
but-
How much do they go for?
God, I don't know.
Yeah,
You and I
exactly.
both don't plow snow or shovel snow. Well, you shovel snow. I know. You shovel. I shovel.
I've
So-
told them before that it is a way for me to exercise. I do like it, but not when it's bone chilling cold. Oh my god.
Bone chilling
It's cold.
Yeah, no, it
It's
is.
cold.
It is, man. Freezing cold. Has it ever been colder in your lifetime? I mean, it's almost up there with the coldest temps of all time in the state of Michigan and throughout the Midwest. I mean, has it been colder that you can recollect?
No, not really. Do you
Yeah.
shovel the snow or do you make Dom do it?
My brother does it a lot more than I do, but I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I chip in here and there, but Dom's a bigger dude. Dom wants to be the man. Hey, you want to be a real man? You go shovel some snow out there, okay? So he goes and shovels the snow, and my dad does too. So Dominic largely helps him out more than I do, but I've done it a couple of times, probably only on one hand, but hey, I'm accountable here. I'll admit that that's the case, but I have helped out still. My father, who is now, going to be 62? Going to be 62 years young, as I like to say it for him. So, he's still trucking along, getting out there, but obviously it's more and more dangerous the older you are to be out there and shoveling snow in these, once again, like Arctic-esque temps. And obviously all the energy you have to exert, right? It is a workout, and you see these people, young and old, dropping because of heart attacks, dropping dead because of heart attacks at times. So I don't want my father to endure that, and I don't want you, Doc, to endure that, but you are a bit younger than my father, so you should be out there shoveling, as you do at least. But I would love to see your house, man, to see what it looks like in that driveway and around your house on the sidewalks, in front of your house specifically, because I know it would look funny compared to the rest of the homes on your block. But you were banking on the fact that they would help you out. You just don't got that helpful neighbor or two anymore. Or they're older, like you said. And just, they're past their primes when it comes to that, Doc.
I don't want to expect them to do it,
Yeah.
but I kind of hope that they do it. And it's
Well,
kind
sure.
of and Vito, remember, I don't live in like this big mansion. Literally, Vito, literally, it's like from the wall to wall here in this office is how wide my sidewalk is. That's it. It literally would take one swipe, bzzz, and they're done. Whereas it
So
would take
why don't
me-
you just pony up now? It comes down to this. Why don't
Yeah.
you just pony up and buy the snowblower? Because I remember you saying this last year that you didn't have a snowblower.
I did.
Because you
See?
haven't ever had a snowblower then,
ever,
right?
ever.
So when's the time going to come for you to pony up and buy your first ever snowblower? Is it ever going to happen in this lifetime, Doc?
As well as I was talking to Adam last week too. I think some must-haves: snowplow and four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive would be nice, man. That kicks in clutch, right?
You got
When
new
it's like
cars?
this.
Do you have it?
Chevy Equinox does not.
Oh,
I love it. It's bigger, higher up for me to see everything. And through the snow, to drive through the snow, it's pretty efficient too because it is a bigger vehicle. Like, I would hate having a Chevy Malibu or a Chevy Cruze right now, man. I know you have that. And to have one of those two smaller cars right now to drive through the snow, it's got to be painful for you, Doc.
Well, you know what makes up for freezing and having this awful weather? The excitement that I feel about tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday is my favorite day of the year. I really enjoy sitting back. I'm not going to be shoveling snow that day for sure.
Good for you.
I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch the 6-7 hours of pregame, 6:30, have a bunch of food. And guess what, Vito? I bought myself a new TV.
Nice.
So I had a 15-year-old TV that was so massive. I got myself, thin TV, and it's really nice, and 65-inch, and I got a good discount on it from a friend, and I'm like, oh, I understand the value of relationships now. Got a great deal, and I'm really excited to sit back with my father-in-law and watch the Super Bowl, and it's going to be a contest between the LA Rams and the New England Patriots, and you talked about it on Monday on the DSP address. Nickell Robey-Coleman's comments on Tom Brady, I was shocked when I heard it earlier this week because in terms of what the Patriots are, they're an organization full of players and management and coaches that probably take information that's negative to them and just blow it up to the umpteenth degree, and they use it for motivation. For Robey-Coleman to talk about Tom Brady's age and that he's noticing a dip in his performance, I was shocked. And I'm like, why would you ever say anything but complimentary things about Tom Brady. You know he's going to put that up as motivation. And prior to those comments, I honestly I'm thinking the Rams are going to be competitive in this game. But now, with those comments and the motivation that Tom Brady and the Patriots have with us against the world already, with everybody calling them done and finished, I gotta go with the Patriots. I think that Robey-Coleman's comments might be one of the dumbest comments an athlete could make, especially at that time, early in the week. Why would you make those comments? I don't get it, Vito. Especially when Tom Brady thrives. It's like his energy. It's like his lifeblood. It's what he thrives on, the disrespect card. He has 5 rings, about to have 6, and you know he sits there and reads about media members talking bad about him, calling him old, slowing down, and that the Patriots are done. Well, look where you find the Patriots 3 years in a row in the Super Bowl. The Patriots aren't done until they say they're done. And until a team beats them, they're the champ. They're the perennial champ. And for a guy like that to make those comments, now, later on, right away, after it blew up and guys like you and media members were like, oh my God, I can't believe you said it. He kind of said, no, I'm definitely complimentary and kind of scaled it back a little bit.
But he did say it.
He did
still
say
said
it.
Yeah.
I have less respect for you now that you did that. Just roll with it. Say, look, I said it. I'm going to go out there and try to prove my team is right and that, you know what, we're going to go out there and defeat Tom Brady. For you to act like that is just really terrible.
I would be showering Tom Brady with praise and love and affection right now. If I was the Rams even, I would be bringing a bouquet of flowers to his hotel door. I would bring tons of flowers to his hotel door and show him tons of affection. I would give him a kiss on the mouth as long as his son did. In that one video that went viral of him and his son in that Tom Brady documentary about his fitness and the effort he puts into managing his body and everything about his body and fitness. I would be doing that if I'm the Rams. You don't want to wake up a sleeping giant. And as I said during the DSP address on Monday of this week, leading into the Super Bowl, to start off Super Bowl week, Nickell Robey-Coleman says this asinine comment about Tom Brady, dogging, of all players he could have chosen to dog and to call out, Tom Brady, TB12, Tom Terrific, a 5-time Super Bowl champ. How dumb do you have to be to open up your mouth and call him out, of all guys? And when you do that, typically, as I said during the DSP address too, Doc, as you know already, you open up yourself and expose yourself and your team to a can of whoop-ass. He probably has for him and his LA Rams teammates. You don't want to wake up a sleeping giant, as I believe he has done.
So before we get to the feature guest this week of 2 Bad Hombres, what do you see happening tomorrow, Super Bowl Sunday?
As much as it pains me to say it, I think the Patriots come out on top. I don't want to see it happen, but I really think the Pats win this Super Bowl, Doc.
Why?
How about you?
Why do you say that?
Well, I say it because of what Nickell Robey-Coleman said, the asinine comment, but also because it seems like Tom Brady has felt all season long that he's been doubted. At 41 years old, people calling him old and feeding that venom inside of Brady to prove all the doubters wrong. So he wants to prove everybody out there wrong that has doubted him all season long. And that's why I think you might see a magnificent performance out of Tom Brady. And this might be his way of going out on top. Even though he's already told, Jeff Darlington of ESPN that he's not going to retire after this year's Super Bowl, even if they win this year's Super Bowl. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe he was just leading us on and making us believe that, hey, there's a chance he does come back and still plays until 45. But what if he wins? I think there's a likelihood, at least, that he does retire.
What's crazy is that all the betting, the big bettors are betting on the New England Patriots. I mean, they opened up as underdogs, and the money shifted so fast. The line moved now where I think it's 2.5, and New England minus 2.5 can get you, I think, a lot of money. I think a lot of people are saying it's easy money to bet the Patriots to win by more than a touchdown. And I'm like, holy cow, man. It's like when Vegas bets that much, you kind of take stock into it, you pay attention to it. But I don't know, part of me thinks that the Rams with a genius, Sean McVay is working his way up to that level to be considered an offensive genius similar to Bill Belichick. Can you go in your first Super Bowl and match wits with Bill Belichick? That's the thing that is creeping in my mind. I like the Rams. I think that what can happen is what's going to be key for them is get the lead early. If they fall behind 10-0, 13-0, they're going to start to press, and they're going to feel the pressure. But if they get out loose, if they get the ball first and start marching down the field, obviously, in any football game, you pay attention to who's running the ball really well. If Todd Gurley can step it up, and in combination with C.J. Anderson, if they can be a dual threat, and you have the ability to utilize play action, and you can get Jared Goff involved in the game, they can keep it close because you got to remember, Sean McVay is a wizard. He's a guy that can game plan, and he has a strong recollection of trends and things like that. And it's a guy that I really respect. I really like a guy that has bravado, really young, but in those key moments, there's going to be probably one or two moments in a game, maybe like a fourth down play late, maybe when the Rams are driving on the 8-yard line. Do you kick that field goal or do you go for it? There's going to be some moment, a sentinel moment in this game that I think people are going to look to. But for me, early on, I thought it was going to be the Rams too, but it's a situation where a part of me wants the Rams to win because they're the sexy offensive team. The next wave of talent that is going to be in the NFL for the next year or two is going to be the Rams. They're the young upstart organization. My head is telling me it's going to be the Patriots, but my heart, what I really want is the Rams. So obviously you can't pick against the Patriots. I mean, it'd be stupid to do that. But I do think it's going to be really close. I don't know. I would take the points. I would take the Rams and the 2.5, and I think it might be a 1-point game. Down to the wire, Tom Brady gets the ball late, and he handles his business in a magical way. I think that's the way this season deserves to end, is the Patriots down 3, Patriots down 4 or something like that, and comes back, or down 6. They come back and score a touchdown to win by 1. But I don't know. Part of me thinks that the Rams got a little bit of that magic that maybe they could do it too, where the Patriots are up 6. Jared Goff with
comes
the ball.
Back, yeah. They
can handle their business with something going on. But obviously the keys are going to be who runs the ball effectively, who handles the pressure late. And, for me, you got to pick the Patriots, obviously.
How about a strip sack by Ndamukong Suh to beat the Pats and to win the Super Bowl? What if that were to happen? Remember, it came down to one good defensive play out of the Eagles last year in beating the Patriots. It was Brandon Graham, Michigan native, making that strip sack of Brady to win the ball game. So I would like to see the Rams win and win big. I would love to see the Rams annihilate the Patriots in Tom Brady's last Super Bowl ever. I would love to see that occur. But all the Super Bowls in the past with Tom Brady and the Patriots, with Tom Brady on the Pats and Belichick as the head coach, have come down to one possession, have been one-possession games in the last minutes of the ball game. So we're probably in for another great, instant classic kind of Super Bowl, unless it's the complete opposite of what we've come to experience when it comes to a Patriots Super Bowl.
What are you doing this year? How are you going to watch it?
I'm going to go to a buddy's home, probably drink some cerveza, and hang out there. How about you?
Do you have Monday off?
Do not. I don't get Monday off, no. Now, there should be maybe a national holiday made for the day after the Super Bowl, and people have tried to make that happen. But
what I've done
it's not happened yet.
Yeah, I'm not off, but I have clients later in the afternoon. So.
Oh, you're taking it a little bit easy. But you can plan your own schedule.
I think it's good when you can create a schedule like the one that I can make, that you make a later schedule, especially after the Super Bowl. You eat a lot, and you have a good time with it, and you stay up late kind of watching the post-game and stuff like that. But, yeah, give me the Patriots 27 and the Los Angeles Rams 26.
I'm going to say 35-21, though. So I said it could be an instant classic. I'm going to say, though, for my final score prediction, going in the opposite direction, Patriots win 35-21 over the Rams.
35-21.
Yes. Even though I would love the Rams to win once again, would love to see them annihilate the Patriots, just blow them out of the water completely. And maybe this starts a Rams dynasty. Remember, the Patriots beat the Rams back in the day against the greatest show on turf when the Rams were known as that. Pats beat the Rams to start off their current dynasty, which has lasted forever now. And remember, a kicker won that game for the Patriots in Adam Vinatieri, who is 40-something now. Maybe Steven Gostkowski wins it for the Pats, or maybe Greg Zuerlein, this great kicker from the Rams, makes a field goal to beat the Pats and to start the Rams dynasty of years to come. I would love to see that happen, Doc.
So tell me about the featured guest this week on Two Bad Hombres.
Devell Washington, class of 2020 Bay City Central wide receiver who has accumulated a ton of offers now from a bunch of D1 schools, including some Big Ten schools. MSU. So your Michigan State Spartans have offered this kid already. U of M has. Ohio State has. Purdue recently has. So a ton of big and big-time Big Ten schools have offered this kid a 2020 wideout from Bay City Central High School in Bay City, Michigan, Doc.
What are stats?
Big numbers, touchdowns, receptions, yards. I mean, this kid is blowing up as time has gone along, too. And, he's going to be a senior this upcoming season, and we'll see what he does. Could be a big season in store for him, and I think a lot of people are expecting that out of Devell.
Is he over like 6'3"? Is he fast?
He's got size. He's about 6'3". He's got speed, deep threat. And he's got a big body target, so he can go over the middle and take some bruises and hits. So maybe he's a possession guy that can stretch it deep as well for Sparty, maybe, in a fall to come very soon, Doc.
It's interesting with wide receivers being recruited by the state of Michigan because the offenses just don't kind of sometimes utilize the wide receivers properly. But maybe by the time he gets there, maybe Michigan State will figure out an offensive staff that could utilize a wide receiver properly, and they'll have a quarterback that can actually deliver the football in a timely manner in a spot where he can actually get some yards after the catch. Interesting stuff. I look forward to the chat. Stay with us. You're listening to Two Bad Hombres on the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
And Doc, as you know, our great sponsor at the DSP Network and sponsor of Two Bad Hombres is the Legacy Football Organization. And it is the premier off-season development program in the state of Michigan, in the Midwest, and in the entire U.S. of A. It provides unique platforms for student athletes on and off the football field through community service, social awareness, education, and football. And it consists of a staff of many former collegiate stars and NFL players, such as legendary Lions wide receiver Herman Moore, and a 3-time All-American linebacker from the past at Michigan State, and a past guest of Two Bad Hombres as well, in Greg Jones. So to find out more about Legacy Football and all of the events they will be hosting in 2019 and beyond, please contact National Director of Football Ops, Justin Cesante, or go online today at www.legacyfootballorg.com. And it is class of 2020, Bay City Central wide receiver Devell Washington joining us for some fresh feedback about his recruiting process. Devell, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. What about you guys?
Doing amazing as well. I love hearing that. Somebody's doing amazing, despite these cold temps. And a lot of days off for you, right, at Bay City Central. Would have to believe you've had some snow days and cold days this week already, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they already canceled school. We probably not have school until about Friday. I'm still snowed in Lansing at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So I can't drive back home yet.
Sure. Well, you might be done for the week. It might be like a winter break for you, a week-long winter break, Devell. And how great is that as a student?
Right. That would be amazing. Like, if we got school, I'm calling the cops.
Oh, man. Look at that. So what has this time off from school been like for you? And, I mean, what do you do on a snow day / cold day?
Really just sat around.
Mm-hmm.
Really didn't do anything.
How cool has the recruiting process been for you?
It's been amazing, getting the Michigan offer, starting off with the Big Ten. It pretty much changed everything about the recruiting process, obviously, after getting the offer from Michigan. And then along down the chain, Michigan State and Ohio State offered. And then pretty much changed the game for me. It sped up and then slowed down. So it's been like a roller coaster.
So, Devell, a lot of offers already have come in for some Big Ten schools and from schools in the state of Michigan. Notably, U of M and Michigan State, and as you said, Ohio State and Purdue recently. Now, I want to go down the list of those Big Ten schools that I just mentioned, and I want to have you give me the pros of those schools. So, starting with Michigan for me, Devell, I want to get from you the pros that you have about Michigan to start off, and then about those other schools as well that you have received offers from in the Big Ten.
I really like Michigan due to the fact Coach Gaston there seemed pretty cool, laid back. I just like that he has a mentality of a national championship winner. As you can tell, he was offensive coordinator at Alabama. So I really like that. And he just seems pretty cool. It seems like he got his head put on right. He's going to do some nice things at Michigan next year.
What do you like about Michigan State?
I like about Michigan State, you can be yourself. They treat you like family. You can be whatever character you want. Everybody's a character there. That's what I really like about it.
How about Ohio State, which is a new head man, this very innovative offensive mind taking over, and Ryan Day for the retired now Urban Meyer?
I think that program right there is amazing. Like, I went to one of their Friday Night Lights. That's when I got my offer. It was like the competition. I really like the competition. They're going to bring competition from all over the world, and I like that there's a lot of competition.
How about Jeff Brom in Purdue?
I talked to a few coaches already. This sounds like pretty cool, like really cool. Coach Jeff, I've been talking to his son a lot lately. Brady's built a strong relationship. I'm with him about 2 months, so we're really close.
Devell, how did you get your start in football, and why the position of wide receiver?
Growing up as a little kid, my uncles were really, into sports. My uncle was a baseball player. One of them played quarterback at Saginaw High. So I was pretty much involved around sports. So I was throwing the ball, catching footballs early. Felt the passion for it when I actually got on the organized football team.
What kind of wide receiver are you? Describe yourself on the playing field.
Pretty physical, really versatile. I can get up and go get the ball. My route running for my size is pretty good, and my speed.
So you have the body, the build, the speed, and you have all these offers once again from all these big-time universities. What are you looking for in a school at the next level, though?
I'm looking for 3-year degree, and, my dream is to go to the NFL.
Now, do you have a top 3 list of schools currently? And if so, could you please reveal who those top 3 schools are at this point for you, Devell?
Can I go 4? Do I got to go 3?
You go 4. Hey, you want to go 4? Yes, we'll go with 4. That's fine with me.
Michigan State, Michigan, Purdue, and Ohio State.
Very fair on the teams that we already brought up. Now, when do you plan on making your announcement, though? Do you have that in mind yet?
I want to say a little bit in the springtime.
What do you think about revealing your decision on these airwaves?
That would be amazing.
It would be amazing. So you know what? We have to make it happen then. I think my producer, John Macron, who asked you a couple of questions already, him and I would be more than pleased with having you announce your decision. And especially if you're going to Michigan State. But that's because of him and him going to state. But also, what kind of guy are you like off the field?
I like uprising people. I don't like when I see people's chins down. So I like bringing people up. I'm a loving person. I'll do what I got to do to make someone happy. I love working with people.
So you can mesh.
I'm a leader.
You can mesh with different people. You can coexist. And I know there's some other, top-tier class of 2020 wideouts here in the state of Michigan, such as Rashawn Williams from Detroit King.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He's your boy. I know that. So I see you tweeting out stuff with him and photos with him from these campus visits and whatnot. And, I mean, what do you think about the idea of you and him joining forces at the next level? And how feasible is that for you at this point, Devell?
I'm not going to lie. It's like a dynamic duo. Me and Troll have been talking. That'll be amazing to play at the same school. Him playing the slot, I play on the outside. That'll be amazing.
All right, this weekend, Devell, is the Super Bowl. A lot of people are definitely swaying toward the New England Patriots. How do you see this going? Are you a fan of either squads?
Honestly, it's the Tom Brady effect. You're not going to beat Tom Brady. Like, him and Bill Belichick, they are going to find a way to beat you. Like, they don't care who you are, they're going to find a way to beat you. It's a Tom Brady effect. Really
quick, did you hear about what Nickell Robey-Coleman, the defensive back from the LA Rams, had to say about Tom Brady? I think it was just asinine what he said, the comment he made about Tom Brady and dogging Brady's ability. What are your thoughts on the comments made by Nickell Robey-Coleman?
I think he made it sound a little bit stupid because Tom Brady is a legend. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, you cannot talk down on Tom Brady.
And I'll leave you with this, Devell. What is one unique thing about you that many people do not know? Maybe a unique hobby or passion of yours?
I like writing.
Okay, and what do you like writing then? Tell me more about that, because I like writing too.
I like writing about my sports and my family.
So, I mean, you could be a sports journalist one day, maybe covering other wideouts like yourself that are going through high school and going to be entering college and playing at the next level one day. How about that?
That would be amazing.
Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Devell, on these airwaves here on Two Bad Hombres, and best of luck to you in your senior season at Bay City Central.
Thank you.
And back here on Two Bad Hombres, and that was Devell Washington from Bay City Central, talking all about his recruiting process and his top four. He did reveal his top four. I think it's already been made known on Twitter by him. But Big Ten schools, and U of M and MSU are in the top four, along with Ohio State and Purdue. Obviously, Michigan State's intriguing to the man across the table from me, and Doc, because he went to Michigan State. And U of M is a little bit more intriguing than me. I'll just leave it at that for Devell.
I'm thankful he came on the airwaves. It'll be interesting to see in the springtime when he makes his decision where he'll go.
And maybe we'll get him on the airwaves to reveal that very decision. Top recruit that is blowing up throughout the nation.
Where's he looking? How many stars has he got? What are you hearing about him?
He's a 3 to 4 star recruit. Basically, a 3-star recruit, though, is what the majority of people view him as. So he's a guy with that, 6'3" about frame, I believe. So he has the body and the speed to be a deep threat, maybe an elite deep threat one day too. So he's definitely got the potential to be a game changer at the next level. And once again, there is a reason, and that is the reason why all these different schools, big-time universities and D1 programs are looking at him and trying to recruit him to come to their respective university, Doc.
All right, before we get out of here, definitely interesting story in regards to Apple and FaceTime.
Yes.
Did you watch the video in terms of how to potentially answer somebody's phone? I mean, they immediately shut it down earlier in the week. For those that don't know, I guess there's a way to FaceTime somebody, and if you do something, I guess if you add them and do some inputs, you can actually activate someone else's phone. And
I can't believe that.
I'm shocked.
What a hack.
I'm shocked to hear that on a lot of levels, and it's really surprising that Apple would ever allow that to happen. And the other part that's fascinating is somebody found it. I mean, that's really a crazy hack, and I guess in this day and age, it always gives you a pause with technology in terms of privacy. And on the network, Adam was somebody that always told me about conspiracy theories and definitely cares about his privacy. But for me, I have not disabled FaceTime, but I have not updated FaceTime to the point where I could do group FaceTimes just yet. So I'm not up to date yet, because what I do is I wait until an update is released, and then I wait until, all the glitches are out, and then I update it. So I'm always behind on it anyway, so I can't do group FaceTimes, but I think it's embarrassing that you could really, hack into someone's FaceTime or something like that. It's just really, really terrible in 2019 that could happen. But Apple said that they're going to already take care of it, and it should not happen again. But what a glitch. Probably one of the worst glitches on a phone that I've seen.
Well, if you can, pick up info about other people that are, taking other phone calls too through a glitch such as this to this magnitude, I mean, this is an extremely huge hack in the software of FaceTime. And almost a reason why to get off of FaceTime, right? And never to use FaceTime again. So the blowback that Apple is now receiving, and I don't have an iPhone, so I guess I am able to avoid this issue, completely right now, which is a great thing because I probably have some data and some info on my phone, sort of my phone, that people want to steal, and that shouldn't be happening. But you see this issue, this security breach with a lot of apps now, don't you? Where people can hack into these apps, hack into your phones, into your tablets, and find out and gather all this info from you and account info, your bank account info, and take money out of your bank account through these means. So it is scary what some of these people know and are capable of doing with their knowledge and using their knowledge for evil, right? Not for good, when they're these bright, hugely intelligent, high IQ individuals that could be using their IQ and expertise for good instead of bad, and instead of using it to hack into other people's phone calls and to steal their info. And we see this happening way too often with modern day technology too, Doc.
With your Android, have you ever had a major problem with the glitch or the phone freezing or something terrible?
No, it's been pretty solid, so I'm appreciative of the Android device and the Samsung Galaxy and how it's been for me so far. Now, your iPhone, has it always been good? Safe and secure for you, Doc?
I really haven't had too many problems with it. Like I said, I don't update it right away. I feel comfortable updating it on the laptop, but it could be better. I just think that the charging situation could always be better with wireless charging. And I think that the reception, I think in 2019, doing the podcast, we still hear issues with some callers and some guests in regards to cell phone connections. I just think it's surprising that you can't get the quality of a landline with a cell phone in 2019.
Yeah, I don't get it.
No,
Modern day technology, and there's still no resolution at times for these people with their phone issues, right? And we see it, we hear it. It's just a part of modern day life still. But like you said, in 2019, when's it going to happen? In 2020? Never? In our lifetimes? Who knows? But I do know one thing. We had a blast on this week's episode of Two Bad Hombres, and we did make our Super Bowl predictions. They might be erroneous and completely erroneous, but we did lay them out there in the open for all of you to consume, and I hope you enjoyed that conversation of ours about the Super Bowl and our interview with Devell Washington from Bay City Central, a class of 2020 top wide receiver recruit at Bay City Central, who is blowing up immensely by the day and getting more and more offers, already offers from big-time Big Ten schools, including Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Purdue.
Great job, Vito. You can follow Vito on Twitter at Vito Jerome. Follow the show at Two Bad Hombres. You can message and interact with the network at any time at Detroit Podcast. We appreciate all the support. We look forward to talking to you next weekend.
Adios.